Can you guys hear me fine? Audio test. Live. Can you guys hear me? Okay, that's going good. Give me just a minute while another window up here. We don't have the full stats on the anniversary ship quite yet. They're still showing it off on the stream. But we have the lockbox ship, so I'm gonna bring up the everyone's favorite sortable and filterable T6 ship list so that we can do a comparison. Okay. Just give me a minute here. I'll make a copy. How's everyone doing today? Alan, how's it going? You're going to be happy. You've got both a new Galaxy that's 5.3, and you've got some new phasers that are coming into the game, though the new phasers may not be as good as they are showing off right now. An important thing to keep in mind is when they show off new weapons on their stream, sometimes they will have a higher proc rate than what we would actually get in the end. So while they show a 5% proc rate right now, when they go to live, they'll probably just be 2.5. And at that point, the new weapons probably won't be that useful. Reset my phone to do not disturb. Okay. Yeah, of course. You know how they are. Okay, let's go and swap over to game. Turn the overlay on. Sticking up still. Jennings, how you doing? So you've got quite a few people in here, so let me say hi to everyone quick. Voyager, Osiris, Eric, y'all were here early. Casey Stang, y'all doing? Geopolitics Junkie. Alan, Salil, Chrome, Spider, Pickle Jars. Rob, thank you for the membership, man. So there's two new ships. They're still in the process of showing one of them off on the stream, the anniversary ship. But the first ship that we'll go over here today is the new lockbox ship, and it is the World Razor. Now, some of these pictures that I'm going to show might be a bit small. Just a reminder, the stream that they do is at a very low bitrate usually, and you can't always see things that well on there. So we'll have blogs for all this stuff up here in the next couple of days, and that'll give us a better visual on how some of the ships look exactly. But also, if you want to go back and take a look at the ships, they did show both of the new ships off from a few different angles on the 10 Forward stream earlier tonight. So this is the first ship we're going to take a look at. This is the World Razor Command Juggernaut. This is the Galaxy class from season 2 of Star Trek Picard. This was the Confederacy version of the Galaxy class, and the Confederacy were very military focused, and this ship follows that mindset. It's a 5.3 with a very aggressive setup. So this is a lockbox ship. This is going to most likely be in a new lockbox that comes out on the 24th. So for those of you that don't like lockbox ships, you're probably not going to be too happy with this one. Running the stream increases user network timeout by 23%. Darkus, how you doing? So yeah, this is the first ship that they have shown off on the stream tonight, and it, like, you know, right here, the weapons layout to the consoles, that should be quite appealing to many of you. Now let's go over the bridge officer layout on it. So this World Razor, this new 5.3 Galaxy that's coming to a new lockbox in about a week, the bridge officer layout on it is going to be a Lieutenant Commander Universal, Lieutenant Universal, Commander TAC with Temporal Operative, Lieutenant Commander Engineer with Command, and Ensign Science. So this is, you know, last year we had the Cygnus, which was a bit more of an aggressive Galaxy class than many of you were used to, or that any of us were used to. And now this year, we actually have a tack-focused galaxy that is going to be 5-3 and has a layout that is going to make it a very good like single target platform. If you're wanting to do like beam overload, this is going to be an insanely good ship for those of you that want to do beam overload 3 with like recursive shearing 3 right here next to it. Yeah, this will definitely be a ship that goes to the exchange. We'll get to the console and trait here in a minute. Consoles are going to get this later on, most likely late February or March. They haven't said when consoles getting the update. Yeah, this is definitely an improved Cygnus, and with it being a Galaxy, it is absolutely going to sell very well. So let's take a look at the trait and console off of this ship. A reminder that this ship is a lockbox ship. It is going to be in its own new lockbox, it looks like. So let me pull up the trait off of this ship. Again, the reason that the detail is really bad on some of these pictures is because the bitrate on their streams is terrible. So the starship trait off of this World Razor is Cultural Conquest, and basically, weapon firing modes will give you a damage boost. So hitting your fire at will, beam overload, even your torpedo spread will give you a damage boost for 15 seconds. And if you have a foe that has applied a debuff to you, a dot, or controlled you, so they've used like a grav well or tractor beam on you, if you hit them with your weapons while this trait is active, which you should be able to given that you'll have a firing mode active, it will double the damage boost that you are getting from 25% to 50%, and it will remove whatever debuff it is that they had applied to you. So this is a Cat 1 damage boost, which means that the boost from this trait is going to not be that impactful in the current state. Given that it's a Cat 1 damage boost, that basically means that the 25% value on it is like 2/3 of attack console worth of damage boost. And once it gets, or if you hit an enemy that has applied a debuff or controlled you, then that's going to double to 50%, which would be equivalent to like 1 1/3 attack consoles. So the trait's cool, but I don't foresee too many people going out and picking this up. Let me see what you guys are saying right now. Did they say it'll share skins with the other galaxies? No, I don't think they commented on that. Yeah, when you're doing like restream like they do, you have to basically go and use the lowest bit rate, right? So, and now let's take a look at the console off of the World Razor here. So let me pop that open. That's wrong one. If you're sending me messages on Discord, I'm not going to see them anytime in the next few minutes. Okay, and then the console off of the Lockbox World Razor is the Universal Light of Civilization console. This has passives on it for +5 current weapon subsystem power, and then +35% crit severity versus any enemies that you're attacking that are below 20% health. So the passives on this aren't terrible, but they're also not, crazy good to a point where it'd be a must-have. So like if you like the clicky that this console has, which is basically going to be like a lance that's going to stay connected to your target and get more powerful over time, it looks like, then the passives aren't terrible, but I would not go out of my way to run this console. And yeah, this console would go very well with the trait off of the Six, which has a similar effect where the trait off the Sticks gives you a really large crit severity boost for any enemies that you're attacking that are below 20% hit points. So a dot lance, Yeah, basically, it's like it starts off as like a normal phaser beam, and then it turns into a more powerful phaser after a couple seconds. So it's going to be a fun console, and it will also cause like a little bit of a core breach on the target. Um, but it's definitely going to be a fun console, just not meta. It's not going to be as impactful as the Excelsior 2 console was, in my opinion. But I do foresee that if you're on a phaser build, this could be a really fun console to mess around with. But I don't necessarily expect it to be the most amazing damage wise. And yeah, the World Razor is a very tack focused ship. It does have some universal seats, but this is the tactical focused Galaxy class that people have been asking for, basically. It will share skins with the other galaxies. Okay, so you will be able to use the skins off the other Galaxy classes. It's a better Cygnus, Nick. It's a full commander tack. It's a full commander tack. It's got 5 tack consoles, and the one thing that I forgot to mention here is that because this is a Juggernaut, it has a built-in like phaser lance that'll actually do a bit of damage. So if you are a phaser user and you like forward-facing setups, especially like a beam overload setup, this is going to be a really good ship for that. Geops, how's it going? Yeah, the console does have a bit of a charge up, so I don't know how many people are necessarily going to use that. Yeah, most likely geopolitics. Afterburner always loved the Galaxy class, and the normal lance that you have on the Galaxy X doesn't really do that much damage. Um, but this will have one of the lances like you see on the other Juggernauts, which basically just fires a really large burst of whatever damage type it is towards the targets. And if you look at like the VOD War Juggernaut one, that one is Polaron based and it does a lot of damage. So if you have a lot of phaser boost on this ship, the phaser burst that this Juggernaut is going to be able to shoot out will be quite substantial. This is Lockbox. Most likely, or for sure, it is a new Lockbox that'll be coming with the anniversary event. So it is going to be a fairly expensive ship right away. Yeah, the Ross is a fun ship too for torpedoes, and this ship will also be a pretty decent torpedo platform. Um, but I foresee this excelling in like a beam overload role. But CSV would also work very well on this. Yeah, okay, so on the topic of that, they did announce some new phasers alongside this, but I have to warn you, do not get your hopes up for what I'm about to show you. When they're showing these types of weapons off on stream, they quite often have a higher proc rate than they do when they actually go live on the main server. So the new phasers that are coming with this World Razor and the lockbox associated with it are Obliviating Phaser Dual Beam Banks. Minute. Okay. Can you not say beam overload while I'm listening? Terrible, Nick. So these new phasers are Obliviating Phaser beams, and well, there will be cannon versions also. I imagine they're going to be a new weapon pack. And the special thing about these phasers is that they have a proc on them that will ignore some of the armor on your target. So it's basically just some armor pen, and it'll completely ignore shields on your target for that shot when it procs. Obliviating, yeah. These are obliviating phasers. Yeah. So the proc on these is basically a ripoff of the original like Alachi weapons from way back. The Alachi disruptors from about a decade ago have a very similar proc on them, but it's a little bit better. Now these ones, what they showed on the stream, have a 5% chance to go off, but it's very important, like I was just mentioning, to note that when they are showing these things off, they're usually doing it on their dev server, and they have the proc rates a little bit higher to help with testing. I know there's a joke there, but do not expect these to have 5% chance to proc when they go and hit the live server. Expect them to have a standard 2.5% proc rate there. So it's not a terrible proc, but at the end of the day, you're still most likely going to be best off using the existing phaser weapons that you have. If these do indeed have a 2.5% proc rate, like I expect, then these weapons are not going to be meta at all for phasers. Yeah, weapons are just the visuals. Triz will be going nuts when he sees the new lockbox ship. Absolutely. So I'm going to pull up some comparisons here. And I think Fluffle already has this updated. So let's go and take a look at ships here. So we're going to look for ships that have a commander temporal and a command seat of some sort. So obviously the comparison a lot of people are going to make is the Terran Cygnus. Let me zoom in on this. But there are quite a few ships that have the temporal plus command combo here. And the Cygnus was like this last year, but it had a commander engineer and just had a layout on it that wasn't that potent. So another factor there is that only had a lieutenant commander, whereas this new World Razor will have a lieutenant commander. So let's set that filter to only 3. I did that. Filter's messing up on me. What color are the new phasers? I believe they're just like a stock standard, like a orangish red phaser. We'll see some more pictures on the blog for the lockbox. It was hard to tell on their stream just because of the quality. Thanks for stopping by. So there's definitely a few comparable ships here, but this is the first ship that is like fully TAC focused that has this temporal and command combo. So if you have been waiting for a really good beam overload galaxy, then this is definitely going to be the ship for you. Let's take a look now at the other one. Have they shown off the stats on that one yet? Leffle's already got it updated. Leffle, thank you very much. Okay. So the other ship that they're coming out with is the new anniversary one. Let me see. We've had pictures or people posting a bunch of different pictures of the different angles of the ships. So the other ship is the anniversary ship, and it looks pretty good. Like there's a few different angles, and they've also shown it right up against like an Enterprise J. You'll have to take a look at the stream VOD from 10 forward to see it from a few different angles. And if you don't want to see it at a better quality, just wait a couple days. I mean, the ship will be out a week from now, so. But it looks pretty neat. Babylon 5 wants their ship back. Yeah. Yeah, Steven, it could be a very good torp boat option, the Galaxy. Recursive shearing and concentrate firepower will be very good for that. Okay, so the next ship we have here is a science dreadnought, and it looks really funky from a variety of different angles. So let's see if I can scroll up here and find a couple different angles, and apparently someone's dog is randomly in there. But it's a fairly big ship. There's a Galaxy class next to it, and it looks pretty neat. Yeah, the baby V'ger ship, yeah. So if I go back to this one here, yeah, compared to an Enterprise J, it's basically as wide as an Enterprise J. The console on it shoots out some of the balls of lightning. But let's take a look at the stats of the ship itself. Okay. So this ship is the Anniversary ship. It is called the Compiler Science Dreadnought. So as a Dreadnought, it does have more weapons than a science ship would traditionally have. It does keep the secondary deflector, and it has a hangar bay. Kind of reminds you of the Asari ships from Mass Effect? Absolutely. But this is a really neat looking ship, and the stream they didn't really do it justice quality wise because of the low bit rate, but visually this ship looks amazing, and everyone's going to want to be logging into the game to grab it. So it's a 4-3 science dreadnought. It has 3 engineering and tech consoles and 5 science consoles. It's got frigate pets. I haven't seen the pets yet. For the bridge officers on this ship, if I pull Fleffel's sheet back up here, let me reset this. So the compiler science dreadnought has a commander science, a lieutenant commander tac, lieutenant commander science with temporal operative, lieutenant universal with temporal, and an ensign engineer. Yeah, it comes with polar on weapons. Yeah. And the secondary deflector on it does mean that it should be a fairly good science ship. I don't expect this ship to be like the top option for science ships, but I do expect it to be pretty decent. So let's make another copy of the ship list and compare that to some other. Yes, this is the Anniversary ship, the Compiler Science Dreadnought. So let's compare this to some other science dreadnoughts in the game. And let's set this filter for 1 hangar bay. So at this point, there are several ships that are comparable. Let's see here. Yeah. Temporal is very common on science ships like this, but I think that this will be a really good platform. The only issue if you're looking to set up like a pure science build on it is going to be this locked commander tac, or the locked lieutenant commander tac on it. It's got double temporal, lieutenant commander and lieutenant temporal. So again, pictures of the ship. Let me see if I can pull their stream back over. So this ship looks pretty interesting from a variety of different angles. Like it is a huge ship. So let me go back to the start of their announcement. It's also got some really neat effects near the deflector. But it looks pretty awesome front on. Like I think the ship itself will do perfectly fine, but I think a lot of people are going to be getting this for the visual aspect and of course because of its size, because it is a massive ship. It fits in 40K. So there's a Galaxy class like right above it, and you can see that the scale of it is just, it is a massive, massive ship. It will absolutely turn very slow. They have not revealed the mobility stats though, so we won't know the exact turn rate and all that until sometime over the next couple of days. But also this deflector, it's got like a nebula or something in there that looks different from every angle you look at it from. Spiky eyeball, yeah. Babylon 5 crossover. So one thing that did surprise me is I was expecting there to be another Alliance ship, and you know, I'm perfectly fine with getting this over the Alliance ships, to be honest. This is a really interesting ship visually, and the stats on it are pretty good. Eye of Sauron. Fly your Lost Serena and TFOs after everyone gets this and pretend you're a tiny fighter. Okay, let me pull up some of the other stats like the traits and all that from Discord. A reminder, whenever new ships are discussed on the 10 Forward streams, we have a channel on the Builds Discord called New Ship Theorycraft, where people will go in and post pictures of the ship and they'll discuss it. Apparently someone kept posting pictures of their dog in there. Interesting. So we've already looked at some of this, and with some Vandy shields, like this is with the Lucari Vandy shield on, from the Lucari reputation. It looks amazing with that Vandy shield on. Like, this is how the ship initially looks, which it looks pretty awesome there. And then, like, with a bunch of the different Vandy shields, it looked really good. Like, this Lucari one on it looks amazing. Let's see here. Okay, so the weapons it comes with are plasma, not Polaron. Okay. The weapons on it are plasma digitizers. So let's take a look at what these are. Okay. So it's basically a normal plasma weapon with probably different visuals. I can't read much of that other text there. So it's like a different color of plasma weapons. I thought it was Polaron with the purple there. Yeah, standard proc. Ice Knight, JB, how's it going? Martin? Can't wait to flank that in PvP. on kill, it digitizes the target. Okay, so its special effect is that it's a different kill animation. That's a neat approach. That's neat. And the clicky gives you a speed boost on the console, I'm assuming, or is this on the ship itself? Okay, let me take a look at the rest of the chat here. Okay, here is the console. So the console is volatile digitization matrix, and what this has passives on it for 20% power transfer rate, plus 28.5 for EPG skill, plus 5% hit points. And it will transform you into a digitizer probe for up to 20 seconds. During that 20 seconds, your weapons and abilities are disabled. You're given a 400% flight speed and turn rate boost. You will deal plasma damage to foes within 5 kilometers. And when you get out of the transformation mode, it deals an additional amount of plasma damage to foes within 5 kilometers. And then it spawns some extra probes that will travel and deal plasma damage to the nearby foes. So basically, the console turns you into one of the balls of lightning from like the V'ger, ships, and after that, after you hit a target, I think you stay alive, I would imagine, and it spawns in more to do more damage. Let's see if I can find some footage of that on the stream. Okay. I imagine they showed that off there. So it's got some drones that you can launch. Webs. I want to see the ship turn into one of these torpedoes. You know they gotta do somewhere in here. Just missed it. Okay, so he's gonna hit the console here, and we can see what the visual of that looks like. Okay, here he goes. So he's gonna turn into one of the torpedoes, and I guess he gets to control it and head towards the target. And it spawns in while it's active. It'll spawn the extra ones. Okay. So you just fly around and it just deals damage to nearby foes. Okay, so you don't like crash into them. And then when you pop out of it, it does a ton of plasma damage. Okay. That's interesting. Um, I don't think that's necessarily going to be meta, of course, but that looks interesting. So again, the console on the Anniversary ship is the volatile digitization matrix, and it transforms you into a probe. It will launch a couple additional probes out, and basically, as a probe, you can fly around much faster than the ship normally could, but your weapons and abilities are disabled. And you can fly around and just do damage to the nearby enemies, and when you come out of the transformation mode, you'll deal additional damage. Does it have the sound effect? I don't know.
Console now. You think I should show off the console now?
I don't know if it will.
Sure, you should be moving while you do it to
Okay.
get the full effect.
Oh, they've got game sound turned off because it was really loud in some of the earlier Argalas. I remember looking at the stream. So you see here, he just flies around as one of the probes, and it does a ton of damage. Well, not that much damage, but it does some damage. I should clarify, this is not really that much damage, but it's doing something. It does not have the sound effect, someone asked? Okay. You hunt it to disintegrate your enemy? I mean, it's neat. I'll give him that. That's a neat effect on the console. And the Starship trait is Digital Compilation. This is really blurry to read, but defeated foes create chasing plasma damage AoEs. So basically, when you kill an enemy, it will transform them into one of the digitizer probes that will then chase foes and deal some damage once per second to all nearby foes within 2.5 kilometers. Yeah, so it's the feature probes. Miracle, I don't know. I started this stream up as they were still going. I did not expect them to be to getting into the ships that late, but so was the console? I didn't even. It doesn't say on here that the console is bound to the ship, unless they said so on the stream. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say it doesn't have text here indicating that it's locked to that ship. So, I mean, overall, I think both ships are quite interesting. This Anniversary ship definitely like it's interesting because it's something sort of new. You know, visually, it's completely different from anything else we have in the game. The layout on it isn't terrible. Like, the science dreadnoughts are not for everyone, but this will be a pretty decent ship. And the trade-off of it is interesting. I don't think it's necessarily going to be meta, but the console and trait are at least something new, and it's a really creative release, to be honest. Like, I was expecting it to be another Alliance ship. Instead, we got something that, looks like it's from another sci-fi franchise, and it's actually interesting. So I look forward to playing around with these ships on PC next week. Yeah. Jupiter or Addis, or if you want to buy it out, that'll always be an option too. If I can use Lobi, I may just buy it out. Because it looks different. And Wubs, it's not the third science ship in a row. The Burjai was, that was an escort, right? So I might actually buy it out. I've got the Lobi. Like, if it's a Lobi buyout, then I might do it just to mess around with it and save myself from the pain of going through and doing Upiter Erratus for 20 days. Oh, third science, gotcha. Yeah, there's a few science dreadnoughts, I'm pretty sure. Let me see here. We have the Dreadnought classification on here. Is that under the mastery package? Where is that at? I don't think I can break a or have this sort for all the Dreadnoughts because I'm getting some other size ships on this list. Back to the front. There's definitely a few science Dreadnoughts though. You've got the Sona Collector, the Chronomanorox, the Marion, Paradox, the Cardassian Damar. Now this compiler science Dreadnought. I don't know. Like, what do you guys think about this update? Like, I know the World Razor is not going to be everyone's favorite, given that it is a a lockbox ship, but the the side effect of it being a new lockbox is we should also be getting quite a few new traits, and we'll have a new set of phasers we can mess around with. Though I don't think the phasers are going to be meta. But yeah, I think for a lot of people, getting a Galaxy class in the game that is a juggernaut, that is heavily tack focused, is going to be very appealing to a lot of people, especially now that it can use the skins from the other Galaxy classes. It's looking really interesting. And again, this is going to be a new lockbox that the World Razor is coming in. It's not going to be added directly to Infinity. This is going to be an entirely new lockbox. That is going to be Picard TNG themed, it looks like. Yeah, it'll be a while before the items get added to Infinity. What are the weapons on that thing? The weapons that were on the World Razor that they showed off were obliviating phasers, and these are a new type of phasers that are going to come with the ship and in the new lockbox. Trekkie, how you doing? Yeah. Yeah, again, the World Razor Commander TAC, that's a big thing. This is a Galaxy class with a Commander Tactical with Temporal Operative and a Lieutenant Commander Engineer with Command. That's a very, very good platform, especially for single target DPS. Yeah, Webs, the Anniversary ship does look quite a bit like ships from other franchises, for sure. I know a lot of people were making a Mass Effect comparison. So the World Razor, the trade on it is Cultural Conquest, which I went over earlier. Basically, when you hit firing modes, so things like Fire at Will, Torp Spread, Cannon Scatter Volley, it is going to give you a Cat 1 damage boost that will double if you hit a target while the trait is active that has applied a debuff or control to you. Yeah. So that was something too that was brought up, and I missed part of the discussion, Neo, but the World Razor is labeled as a command juggernaut when it has a commander temporal operative, so I don't know if they're going to change that or if they're just going to leave it because it sounds better. What pets are on the Collider? I don't know if I have a picture of those, unfortunately. Let me go back here. Did anyone link the pets? Did they show the pets at all on the stream? Oh yeah, they did. Here we go. So these are the pets that come with the Anniversary ship. They're digital construct drones. These can be used on the compiler or any full carrier, so any carrier with 2 hangar bays. And they have plasma beams on them. They have a heavy plasma digitizer probe. Terrible. But yeah, they also have a subnuke on them. They'll have overload 1 for the beam rays they have, and they'll be able to ram targets, it looks like. You guys still hear me now? Real life interrupts? No, that is my niece. My sister just stopping by to pick her up. My sister's been an Amazon delivery driver recently, so we've been watching the niece during the day. No torp, yeah. Well, they do have the heavy plasma digitizer probe, and we don't know if that's going to count as, count as a torpedo. Yeah, Chef Fox, I would imagine that they have the same visual. So whatever the digitizers kill, or the drones here, then Ryan, terrible. So whatever these digital drones kill will have the digitized like death animation. Basically, the only thing that these plasma weapons that come with the collider do, the only thing they do is they give you a special animation upon killing the target. That is like what you see from the V'ger, like the V'ger probes when those go and kill a target. You know how they are just like vaporized. It's going to be that kill animation. Yeah, that would have been nice. Especially like give us a beta on another set of pets. That'd be great. Yeah. So we don't have all, every last bit of stats on the ships. I do want to say thank you to Fleffel for going through and keeping the sortable and filterable T6 ship list up to date. But we have most of the stats, but we don't have, like hull modifiers, mobility, power bonuses. We won't have that stuff for a couple days. Sheridan, yeah. But yeah, this overall, like, I'm really impressed with this content update. I look forward to messing around with this stuff next week, and I will be doing some streams next week to take a closer look at things. With the anniversary ship itself, that may come at a later date because the 20-day grind is only going to start, up next Tuesday. But I'll try to get some stuff together. I'll post some stuff up on the exchange and try to get some EC together for the new ship. So I got a week to do that, so I should be fine. Yeah, this is a good update so far. Like both of these ships look interesting. They're new, I think that's the big thing. This is something new that should be interesting to mess around with. It introduces some new mechanics with the console and trait, so I'm gonna go after both ships. Absolutely. Christmas and TFOs, yeah. I appreciate it, Martin. The World Raiser will be an option in the 2024 event campaign. Yeah, if there's any other questions, let me, feel free to drop them in chat, but this is basically all the information that we have on both of the ships. So again, the compiler Science Dreadnought is the anniversary ship. And it's pretty neat. It's like a mini V'ger or baby V'ger there, yeah. And then the lockbox ship is going to be the Confederacy World Raiser Command Juggernaut, which again is a 5-3 tactical focused Galaxy class ship that can use the skins of the other Galaxy class ships in the game, just not the Trinacell Gal-X ones. It's got new phasers that are going to be introduced in its lockbox that may have a visual that you like, and there's going to be more lockbox content added, like traits and all that are going to be accessible, for everyone, much more than the ship will be. Are they doing another anniversary pack? Yes. So they didn't discuss it on the stream today, but it's very important to note that this anniversary bundle that we are getting this year is going to be another Terran one, like the 12th anniversary one was. They've already confirmed that the Terran Prometheus and the Terran Aquarius are going to be in it. So it's going to be another Terran style bundle, like the 12th, it looks like. And that'll be coming out sometime in the middle of February. They'll probably start to tease that over the next week or so. Absolutely. The World Razor console plus the Excelsior 2 console should be fun. Baby V'ger weapons. I missed that on the stream because I had it muted while I started mine up, so. Yeah. John, thank you for stopping by. So I'm going to be wrapping things up here. There's a few things they said on the stream that I missed because I started while they were still talking about some of the anniversary ship stuff, but I think we've went over all of that now. Overall, it's very interesting. If you guys remember, I did a video a couple months ago and going over like a huge ship leak. Let me pull that up. And basically, what happened is there was a stream that they did a couple months back where they leaked some ships on it, and see if I can find it here. They leaked some upcoming ships that are going to be coming out this year, and two of them were the Terran Aquarius and the Terran Hestia, which is the Prometheus. The Aquarius will be a raider. The Hestia will be a destroyer. And those are going to be two of the ships in the upcoming anniversary bundle next month. Sam, Trekkie, thanks for stopping by. And then in March, we're going to be getting a legendary ship of some sort. It's either going to be the Akira or a legendary Valdor. And that will be a Strikewing escort. And then in early 2023, probably in the April to May timeframe, we're going to be getting another C-Store bundle that has at least the patrol escort in it. We don't know the other ships, but there will probably be a 1 TAC, 1 Inch, 1 size ship, and this list only showed TAC ships, so all we know about it so far is that there's a new variant of the patrol escort coming out later this year. Yeah. So that is basically all of the information we have right now. They'll be releasing blogs for both the compiler and the World Razor here in the next couple of days. So I'll do another follow-up breakdown once we have the full official stats. But I'm going to wrap things up here. Thank you to everyone that stopped by. I think this is the most I've ever had on the stream at one point, 173. So I'll go back through and try to have some timestamps to some of the discussions on the specific ships. And again, I'll do another set of content pieces going over both ships once the official blogs are out. But one last thing I want to bring up is, again, there's some T6 coupons being given away on Discord. So if you go to the Builds Discord, which is linked in the description below this video, then yeah, it's right below in the description. Right below in the description is a link to the Builds Discord. If you go there and then you go to the Giveaways tab, there is a T6 coupon giveaway going on for PC. And this one was very generously donated by Martin here in chat. And if you go over to my Discord, which is also linked in the description right below this stream here, and go to the Giveaways channel, there's another T6 coupon being given away there. So there's 2 coupons up for grabs, and I want to say again, thank you to Martin for helping chip in there. Oh no. Webs say something else, I'm scared. Okay, that's going to be it for me today. Thank you all for stopping by in this quick late night stream. Hopefully I gave you the info you needed on the 2 new ships. But that is going to be it for me today. Again, thank you to all viewers and members for the continued support. But that's going to be it for now. Videos will be following this up to go over the stats in more detail. See you guys around.